Okay, so I have enough wire to do the hoop at the foot, up to the leg, to the hip, down the other side, and then twice that amount again. So hopefully this is nice and smooth. So just gonna pick my halfway point for the wire, then go down for each of the feet. If again. Now I could just take this halfway, yeah, and do one hoop at the end. That grab and we'll just twist. Okay, not too tight, not too loose. Readjust your position every so often so you're not twisting way down the end of the wire. There we go. I've gone way past my desired mark several times in the past, so definitely stop every so often and just double check because you can just get meditative and like do do do, and then pretty soon, before you know it, you've run out of space. So there you go. There's the halfway mark. So going all the way down, and we're just going to create a little open end hoop. Get to the other end of the wire. So, so there's my ankle, and it's going up to there, and almost done. Excellent. So it got off just a little bit right there. It's okay. Nothing to stress about. But what I can do here, though, is I can grab this and let's accentuate that little, bring the foot here, grab by the ankle, back, and then go down a little low, more forward, and then grab and bend the hockey stick. There we go. It didn't quite bend back to the heel as much as I would have wanted, but that's all right. So that should stand up very nicely. Okay, so coming around. Front, and I have just a little bit more to go. Maybe check it again after 3 or 4 more twists. Ooh, 2 goes pretty far. That up. And yeah, that was it. Bam. Finito. All right, so for this one, I didn't go wider for the design, but he's got fairly narrow hips in comparison to the body. So, and we're going to use some steel stick and kind of create the little butterfly sides of the pelvis anyway, so that's okay. But I think if I go a little bit farther, that'll give me just enough space to not have to worry about such a harsh bend on the Y. So I'm going to go a couple more like that. And then I'll take this and make sure I'm at the good halfway point and use my tool. Double check, grab, and we'll bend that around the other side. There we go. And that is pretty much spot on for what we want. And we just have to finish off the foot now without the hoop. So bend that back a little and get the heel, and then we'll bring these wires forward. That, and then we'll create the little hoop on the front. So, and then we can adjust this back and forth to get a nice little bit of wiggle room there. See, it's a little high up so far. It's okay. We can um, play with that. There it goes over there a little bit more. So when we attach this to the spine, we'll be extra careful. Bring that in. Oh, there's a little bit of a bow. So if we want to like include that in, because I made him a little bow-legged. I think at the first I had like a almost bow-legged cowboy type of design, and either foot's fine. I think this one shows up a little easier. My hand on camera, and we can curl that around to nice little foot shape. There we go. All right, and we'll trim it up. Okay, there's one side and the other. And watch out for the burrs, the little sharp pieces on there as we're going. And just kind of flatten all this out. There we go. It's okay. Hold it down with your hands and straighten out the legs. Again, watching out for the sharp burrs. I'll get my file out in just a moment. Yeah, it's okay. Coming forward just a little more. And just to get a little bit of safety and precision in there. There we go. Should be all right. So there's the legs. There's the torso. And I can clamp these two together here and wrap the little wires around. We're going to put the steel stick for the hips on there, and then we'll attach, make the arms. So we'll set those aside for right now, and I'm going to get the thinner armature wire. So not the 10 gauge, but the 16 gauge wire, and do the arms. Okay, so tracing the image again, so I have the hoop of the hand, so let's stick it past the hoop of the hand a good solid 2 inches up around the shoulders. And we don't have to trace it exact, we could just kind of add these little dips there a bit and come down and add a little bit extra there. And so that right there is measuring 12 inches, and then just bring the other half out, which is also 12. So it's actually really precise, like a little too precise. So I don't think I have enough room for it to twist well. So I want to make sure I have at least 2 inches extra on each side. So 4 inches extra total. So instead of messing up like I did the last one, trying to be a little too conservative, I'm going to go, instead of 12, I'm going to go 14. That's going to make this a total of 28 inches. Okay, there you go. And for this one, I could do it the same as the feet, which I had the hoop on one side and I brought it over and I created a little open pinch on the other side. Or for this one, I'm going to try and do, you could do the same exact way. But for this one, maybe going to, yeah, we'll do it the same way. Back and forth game today, I swear. Okay, there we go. So bend that around to a little hoop for the hand. And then if I want, I can use the locks. These actually hold it in place. And that way I don't have to hold it with, grip it with my hand. These pieces here. So go with the wrist and go nice and make sure I get that hoop again on here. It's going to leave teeth marks, but you would tape yours. And now I can go in here and we can do a nice twist. And you can even do it that way, all the way. Now, even faster way to do this would be to use your gun. And then depending on the diameter of the hand, you can use something like a tool handle. In this case, I have my old beater paintbrush handle that I use for all kinds of stuff, and I can slide it down almost like a ring finger size finder. Pull it tight. There we go. That extra little pull at the end tends to help a little bit. And um, bring these down, straighten them out, and we're going to put it inside the chuck, the adjustable size chuck here of the gun. This should work very nicely. Let's see. Straighten my wire. I should have a little straighter before I started on this. That's okay. Just little nibs at the end. There we go. And I'm going to put a nice amount of it way down in the chuck. And I'm going to tighten it up. Nice and strong. Okay, there it goes. And now if I hold with one end here, where that hoop is, I'm going to pinch where they crisscross each other and slowly, let's just go in the right direction from how I'd crisscross it over and let it run. There we go. So that is very, very fast. And get nice and tight. There we go. I might have cored that up a little tighter than I wanted. It's all right. Okay, so we can like trace around the arm, hand to the arm, and give a slight bend. And coming around the shoulder, there we go, and down to the chest region. Grab right there, grab it with the tool, and maybe grab a little higher than you want so it has room to bend back the other way. There we go. So you could be a little bit more precise with it, but that is good. This is a little kickback. I wound it too tight, so if you do it too tight, it might flex back against you, and so you really want to watch out for that. Um, I can grab this side, bring it up. That. Go to the other side, grab, bring it around, let it curl just a little bit. Don't get too 90-degree with it. And right on down the end here, and do that little palms back forearm twist. And even for this one, if you wanted that really nice hand hoop on the other side, now I'm going to have to break this back open again. But we could just cut a second hand. So we could do single one. You could do them as individual arms and then attach them to the center. So you have a lot of options for how you can do this. You can use the chuck in the gun. You can clamp them tight and twist, or you could just freehand twist. So let me grab this right at the right spot here. And hit the wrist there, nice and tight. And I'm going to magnets in there. I'm going to untwist right at the wrist. There we go. And keep on going. A little bit more. Then once it's untwisted a little bit, I can flatten this out some more and maybe untwist again. Flatten it out a little bit more. There we go, and untwist again. So that almost enough space to make it the same size hoop. And we can always do same thing with our little toe claw here. We can dynamically trim that. There's not going to be a ton of pressure on there. There we go. And take our little wooden tool here, maybe hold this with another tool and kind of flex this open. Okay, and double check that I am indeed getting that wrist hoop started right where I want it to. Everything's looking pretty spot on. So you can see over here the hoop's a little big. So I might to twist that in a little more. So I want it to protrude through the knuckles. Same thing over here. So we'll grab this one. And I unwound too much there and we'll twist. Let's see if I can get this to go right. The tape idea is not working out like I thought it would. I'll be real honest with you. I was trying to update my process and yeah, but you know, it's time you try something. It's not like it's broken or not going to work or anything. It's still going to work just fine. If the palm hoops are a little small, it's okay. If they're a little big, it's more problematic. Like you can definitely don't want the wire poking through the palm of the hand. There we go. Get my little wooden sculpting tool. Yeah, that's good. So now I can back in here and flatten it out some more. There we go. And we can give that a little clip snip at the end. Little itty bitty wire cutters. There we go. And this one over here, let's just bite the bullet and snip out a little bit for what we need. There we go. Yeah, the tape idea is just sliding off and getting all gummy, so yeah, wouldn't bother with it too much more. But I'm gonna kind of just finish with what I got here. There we go. I can overlap them a little, and then this is chewed up pretty good, um, but it should be okay. For little tiny palms, it's not going to have a lot of flex back and forth. It's going to be the elbow, the armpit, the crotch, and the knee. Maybe at the ankles, there's a lot of stress. There's not going to be a heck of a lot of stress. I don't think at the palms or flexing, bending back and forth. Again, we can add we'll add the fingers and toes on last and kind of the top view, try and even everything up. You want to make life really easy on yourself for all these measuring and adjusting and try and keep everything nice and clean and easy to trace and measure. There we go. And there's our legs. Maybe bring those feet up a little flatter. Make sure they're firmly on the ground. See, it's a little high. That's okay. You can just cover that with steel stick. Right, and there's our torso. And actually, let me see. That was a hand I made earlier. Where'd our torso go? Ah, here it is. I was gonna say that was a little thinner. But yeah, make a few of these. Have them laying around. Can like if you want to just whip up a puppet one day, like heck yeah, go for it. All right, so we're gonna attach these. What's important is the arms go behind the spine. They don't go in the front. The metal will protrude through the sternum. You want them back with the shoulders, right? So most of the upper torso, there's more mass on the backside of the body, as you can see here in the drawing. So there's more mass back here behind the front. So you don't want those wires to come sticking through the front sternum. And then more back here, down here, and then the abdomen kind of protrudes forward with the little bean of the S curve of the spine. So there we go. So we could put that one there, put that one here, and then we'll lay this behind. And then last thing we'll do is we'll take our fabric covered, a little threaded, cotton threaded floral wire, and we'll add the fingers on there and the toes and be ready to go.